This is another Compassion Works for All video. As you know, many of our videos are made because they are a request from someone who is having a certain issue that maybe we can help with a little bit. And one request that I got was to make a video about paranoia. This request was from somebody who feels like their propensity for paranoia is causing them distress. So, of course, I don't know a great deal more than that, but it is a very good topic because there are many out there who have mental illnesses which very much affect their everyday life. And so sometimes paranoia is a mental illness, and sometimes it is what we would call a personality trait. So if somebody is seriously exhibiting the symptoms of paranoia, then we would say this person has an illness. And then in all those illnesses, there are others who have many more mild symptoms, and for them we would say they have paranoia as a personality trait. So I don't know if this person who sent the request has an illness or has paranoia traits. But either way, we know that it is significant enough to cause some distress. And I want to emphasize this because there are many, many people who know either that they have a mental illness and are getting treatment for it, or they are influenced by traits in their personality that make life a little bit harder. With paranoia, if we have a mental illness, it can be a very serious thing because someone may actually feel all the time that they are in danger. Somebody is going to hurt them. They may feel caught in conspiracy. So it is a very debilitating illness. And it's an illness that we should never judge ourselves for. It may be a matter of some brain chemistry that is out of balance. It could have been precipitated or influenced by some trauma and distress that we went through as a child. It could also be a result of some enculturation where we grew up, the kind of neighborhood or family we grew up in that taught us to be fearful of others because in truth we may very well have been in danger. So one then integrates these fears deep within them, and they are always looking for danger. There are many ways our brain perpetuates these fears beyond our logical mind. So it is not anything to judge ourselves for, nor is there any mental illness that we should judge ourselves for, but there are medications that can help and can help to bring our brain back into balance. If we have paranoid personality traits, it may be that we can work with our paranoid thoughts or even delusions, or anything that seems to be outside of normal, and yet it is compelling and seems to take us over. So if you have paranoid traits, and we can say if you have any emotional traits that interfere with your life, one thing to do is to sit down and write out what is normal. Sometimes we even need to have somebody help us write this out so that we can get feedback as to what is normal and what crosses the boundary and is no longer normal. If you write out, "This is normal," and you read it frequently, then when you have a day that is hard and you're having trouble finding your balance, or maybe you're making a big, fearful drama out of an event that happened, it is good to say to yourself, "This is not normal. I need to bring myself back to normal." So then you can read what you've written. You can repeat to yourself what is normal, and then take the event that is occurring, no matter how frightening it may be, no matter how compelling it may be feels to you, and consider, how am I making this into something that is so beyond normal? Take responsibility for it. It doesn't mean you're bad or wrong, but see how you have created an expanded version of something that may very well have a link to what is normal in your life, but something has happened where you have blown up the emotions or the thoughts or the way of perceiving something and made it very not normal. And you need to shrink it back down to size so that you can decide what to do about it. If you make a decision when you are in something that is full-blown paranoid frenzy and fear, your decision is not going to be a good one. So you need to shrink it back down to normal. Look at what happened to make it such a big and scary deal, and then using your good logical thinking, decide what you will do, how you will act, what you will say. Doing all of this primarily with thinking clearly, you can then move on and know that you're not risking getting yourself into trouble or a big dilemma by acting out of your paranoid fears. This, too, I again say, applies to any time we are outside of the boundaries of normal emotion, thinking, and feeling. So if you have paranoid thoughts or depressive thoughts or grandiose thoughts, consider what is normal. Bring your thoughts back to normal and decide within normal boundaries what you're going to do or say. Know that we are always with you. This is a big challenge, and yet it is a life-saving thing to make decisions only within the bounds of a good assessment of what is normal in your life.